Well, I finally broke down and built me a dumbbell rack. Actually, I looked on YouTube and there was only one video on there about making a dumbbell rack, and so actually I sit down and figure this up, and it looks like I got a pretty good system going here. It cost me about $22, I would say. Time I got all this done, I already had the paint and the stain, so if you had to buy that, that would be extra. But there's my dumbbell rack, and a couple months ago I actually made a dip station here out of PVC pipe, and I posted a video on that. And here is my Smith machine that I picked up on Craigslist from a guy, and so that's part of my weight room here. And you can see I actually get mirrors that are broken, and you get them for like $3 or $4, so it don't matter. And you can see that mirror right there is broken too. But here we go, back to my dumbbell rack. And I've had these dumbbells for years, as you can tell. Some of them are kind of rusty. I guess I need to spend some time and repaint these. But my dumbbells go from 15 to 45 pounds. And I've actually just had them on the floor for the longest time, actually ever since I had them. And I finally figured a way I can make me a dumbbell rack, and you can see that they're not lined up parallel, they're offset, so it's sort of like the ones that you would see in a gym when you go work out. First of all, I got the angle iron, and I picked this up at my local recycle center, scrapyard. And I really don't know the thickness of this angle iron. I just seen it was laying on the ground. I guess that's probably about 1.5 inches wide, and it actually was 20 feet long. So I brought it home and I cut the pieces up into 5-foot sections. So I actually end up with four 5-foot sections. So my whole rack here is 5 foot long, and I got some room for some more dumbbells if I need to add some, if I need to go higher. And after I cut the angle iron, I just cleaned it up, sanded it down a little bit, and I put some black paint on it so it'll look pretty nice in my room here. And I went to Lowe's and I picked up one 8-foot section of a 4x6. And then I picked up these brackets here, and all the brackets are doing is just holding these two pieces together, because they're not screwed or bolted or anything like that. So it's just holding these two together. And you have to get some screws to hold your angle iron to the 4x4 post, and you can see I got three on each one. And let's see, it'd be 3, 6, 9, 12. So you probably get about 40, small box of 50 or so of the screws. But I picked mine up at the flea market for $1. And then that 4x4 post cost me, it was like $12. And then the brackets there, they're probably, I think it was like $1 a piece. And then the angle iron, we actually looked at several places, like Tractor Supply and Lowe's, and it was going to be like $100, I guess, for all the angle iron that I needed to make this. But I picked this piece up for $6. And what I did after I cut it, I have one of those dog lots, and see, just a fence dog lot, and I laid the angle iron across it, and I done pull-ups like in the center of this angle iron. So I'm like, well, if it'll hold 150 pounds or 160 pounds right in the middle doing pull-ups, then it'll hold then two of them will hold the weights that I'm gonna put on here. But anyway, when I got the post from Lowe's, the 4x6. So I brought it home and I cut it up, and the bottom piece here is 16 inches high. So I cut two of them at 16 inches high, and then the tall one is 32 inches high. And time you do all that cutting, you actually use the whole 8-foot piece of wood. So you really don't have any left over, and you don't have to buy two pieces. So I just, when I got those cut, I stood them up side by side, and I noticed that if I actually bolted the angle iron here and on this side, that my dumbbell would not fit in there. So I had to notch this out so that it's the same width as my dumbbells. And you actually have to do that on both sides, and then you have to do the one on the bottom the same way. And then also on the bottom, the light is not really that good in here, but your angle iron sticks out, I guess probably about a half an inch or 3/4. So you have to cut a notch so your angle iron fits inside of your tall leg, or you can cut your angle iron so it'll fit flat up against it here. But I just chose to just make it a little notch, and I did that with a skill saw. It didn't take but a few minutes. And I got all that put together, and here is my dumbbell rack. And I think it makes a nice piece inside of my weight room here. You know, after you sand it and stain it and put some polyurethane on it. So instead of spending $200 on a metal one, I just made my own for less than $25.